We tend to be awake during sleep hours, not because we don't love sleep, but many people find that as the best time to study, to trade, the best time to brainstorm a solution for humanity, or even to watch movies as we are very busy during the day. Since we are talking about the biochemistry of sleep, we'll be explaining the reasons why you sleep when you sleep, how to know when to sleep and when to wake up, the role of different neurotransmitters in regulating sleep and wakefulness, the REM and non-REM sleep stages, and how to have a healthier sleep cycle. Now, there are two body processes controlling sleeping and waking periods. They are the sleep and wake homeostasis and the circadian biological clock. With sleep and wake homeostasis, the longer you are awake, the greater your body senses the need to sleep. If this process alone was in control of your sleep or wake cycles, in theory, you would have the most energy when you wake up in the morning, and you will be tired and ready for sleep at the end of the day. Meanwhile, circadian rhythms are the body's internal biological clock, governing various physiological and behavioral processes over a roughly 24-hour cycle. But your circadian biological clock causes highs and lows of sleepiness and wakefulness through the day. Typically, most adults feel the sleepiest between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. and also between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Getting plenty of regular sleep each night can help to balance out these sleepy lows. Your body's internal clock is controlled by an area of the brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. The suprachiasmatic nucleus often refers to as the master clock because it coordinates and synchronizes the body's internal biological processes with the external day and night cycle. It is located in the hypothalamus. Now, the suprachiasmatic nucleus is sensitive to signals of dark and light. The optical nerve in your eye senses the morning light. Then, the suprachiasmatic nucleus triggers the release of cortisol and other hormones to help you wake up. But when darkness comes at night, the suprachiasmatic nucleus sends messages to the pineal gland. Of course, this pineal gland triggers the release of the chemical melatonin. And melatonin is released in response to darkness, which makes you feel sleepy and ready for bed. Meanwhile, most people find it very difficult to sleep at night in the presence of artificial light because melatonin secretion is reduced at this stage. Now, let's look at some neurotransmitters associated with sleep biochemistry. Some neurotransmitters help your body recharge while you sleep. They can even help you to remember things that you learned, heard, or saw while you were awake. The neurotransmitter acetylcholine is at its strongest both during REM sleep and while you are awake. It seems to help your brain keep information gathered while you are awake. It then sends that information as you sleep. So if you study or learn new information in the hours before bed, sleeping on it can help you remember it, right? Another neurotransmitter is the gamma-aminobutyric acid, otherwise called GABA, which is an amino acid that reduces the activity of brain cells. In this way, GABA helps keep the brain from becoming disturbed and is vital to brain health and functioning. The truth is that neurotransmitters facilitate communication between brain cells. So some neurotransmitters heighten brain activity while others inhibit. Now in this case, GABA is a key inhibitory neurotransmitter in the human brain. The neurotransmitter is made inside certain parts of the brain. It is created through the synthesis of another neurotransmitter called glutamate. Remember, we're talking about GABA. After being produced, GABA activates specific receptors in the brain, leading to a slowing of brain activities. So some prescription medication work by activating GABA receptors. Meanwhile, GABA receptors are proteins on a cell that respond when GABA is released in the body. Drugs that activate GABA receptors include sleep aids, which are drugs we take when we want to sleep, and also drugs to reduce seizures. Alcohol also impacts brain activity through its effect on GABA receptors. While asleep, the activity of GABA increases and that of serotonin, which is a feel-good neurotransmitter, and dopamine, which is a reward neurotransmitter, is completely reduced. Let's look at the sleep stages. Have you wondered what happens when you sleep? Okay, for a normal sleep cycle, there are 4 sleep stages, including 1 for rapid eye movement sleep, that's the REM sleep, and 3 that form the non-REM, that's non-rapid eye movement sleep. These stages are determined based on the analysis of brain activity during sleep, which shows distinct patterns that characterize each stage. Now let's look at the non-REM sleep patterns. Non-REM sleep is composed of 3 different stages. The higher the stage of non-REM sleep, the harder it is to wake a person up. Let's look at stage 1, otherwise called the N1. It is essential when a person first falls asleep. This stage normally lasts just 1 to 7 minutes. During N1 sleep, the body has not fully relaxed, though the body and brain activities start to slow with periods of brief movement. There are light changes in brain activity associated with falling asleep in this stage. It is easy to wake someone up during this sleep stage, but if a person is not disturbed, they can move quickly into stage 2, which is the one we'll be looking at next. Now, as the night unfolds, an uninterrupted sleeper may not spend much time in stage 1 as they move through further sleep cycles. Now, let's look at stage 2. During stage 2 or N2, the body enters a more subdued stage, including a drop in temperature, relaxed muscles, and even slowed breathing and heart rate. At the same time, brain waves show a new pattern and eye movement stops. On the whole, brain activity slows, but there are short bursts of activity that actually help resist being woken up by an external stimuli. So N2 sleep can last for 10 to 25 minutes during the first sleep cycle, and each N2 stage can become longer during the night. Collectively, a person typically spends about half their sleep time in N2 sleep. Now let's look at stage 3. Stage 3 sleep is also known as N3 or deep sleep. It is harder to wake someone up if they are in this stage. Muscle tone, blood pressure, and breathing rate decreases in N3 sleep as the body relaxes even further. The brain activity during this period has an identifiable pattern of what are known as delta waves. For this reason, stage 3 may also be called delta sleep or slow wave sleep. Does that make sense? Experts believe that this stage is critical to restorative sleep, allowing for bodily recovery and growth. It may also boost the immune system and other key bodily processes. Even though brain activity is reduced, there is evidence that deep sleep contributes to insightful creativity and memory. You spend the most time in deep sleep during the first half of the night, to the extent that noises and activities in the surrounding environment may fail to generate response. During the early sleep cycle, N3 stages commonly last for 20 to 40 minutes. As you continue sleeping, these stages get shorter and more time gets spent in REM sleep instead. Just for you to know that for a normal human, you can have 5 to 6 cycles during the night. Now these rotations are generally between 90 to 100 minutes per cycle. So do the math. Now let's look at the REM sleep pattern. Now during REM sleep, which is a rapid eye movement, brain activity picks up, now nearing the levels that is seen when you are awake. At the same time, the body experiences sleep atonia, which is the temporal paralysis of the muscles, with two exceptions, which is the eyes and the muscles that control breathing. Even though the eyes are closed, they move rapidly under closed eyelids, which is how this stage gets its name. REM sleep is believed to be essential to cognitive functions like memory, learning, and even creativity. REM sleep is known for the most vivid dreams, which is explained by the significant uptick in brain activities. Dreams can occur in any sleep stage, but they are less common and intense in the non-REM periods. Under normal circumstances, you do not enter a REM sleep stage until you have been asleep for about 90 minutes. Now, as the night goes on, REM stages get longer, especially in the second half of the night. While the first REM stage may last only a few minutes, later stage can last for around an hour. In total, REM stage make up around 25% of sleep in adults. Of course, why does this sleep stage matter? We've been talking about sleep stage, so why does it even matter? Sleep stages are important because they allow the brain and body to recuperate and develop. Failure to obtain enough of both deep sleep and REM sleep may explain some of the profound consequences of insufficient sleep on thinking, emotions, and physical health. Sleepers who are frequently awoken during earlier stages, such as people with sleep apnea, may struggle to properly settle into these deeper sleep stages. People with insomnia may not get enough total sleep to accumulate the needed time in each stage. So let's look at what affects the sleep stages. Now we need to look at number 1, age. Time in each stage changes dramatically over a person's life. Newborns spend far more time in REM sleep and may enter a REM stage as soon as they fall asleep. As they get older, the sleep becomes similar to that of adults. Older adults tend to spend less time in REM sleep. Now, the next one there is recent sleep patterns. If a person gets irregular or insufficient sleep over a period of days or more, it can cause an abnormal sleep cycle. So it doesn't follow this particular stage. Now, alcohol and some other drugs can alter some sleep architecture. For example, alcohol decreases REM sleep hour in the night, but as the alcohol wears off, there is a REM sleep rebound with prolonged REM stages. The next one there is sleep disorders. Sleep apnea, another condition that causes multiple awakenings, may interrupt a healthy sleep cycle. The question is, how can you even have a healthier sleep as a young person, since we have a lot of activities that takes our time, especially during the night? Now, while you do not have full control of your sleep cycle, you can take steps to improve your chances of having a healthy progression through each sleep stage. A key step is to focus on improving your sleep hygiene, which refers to your sleep environment and sleep-related habits. Achieving a more consistent sleep schedule, getting natural daylight exposure, avoiding alcohol before bedtime, and eliminating noise and light disruptions can help you get uninterrupted sleep and promote proper alignment of your circadian rhythm. Your mattress, of course, pillows and sheets can also contribute to how comfortable your sleep environment is. So with that, I believe I've done justice to this topic, biochemistry of sleep. So I would like you to watch this video showing on your screen, biochemistry of depression. It will mean a lot to me. There is a lot of things for you to learn. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. See you when next I upload my video. Bye for now.